Boom. There we are. Let's go. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Foxing Around podcast. I'm your host, Raymond Fox.
And I'm your co-host, River Thomas.
Hey, man, I had to tell River the podcast started at 8:30 tonight, so he'd be here on time. So thank you for showing up, brother.
Yeah, bro, my Buffalo's parked up front, saddle and all.
Hey, let's go. First things first, we'd like to give a shout out to Treaty 6 Apparel, Land Lifestyle Stories, man. Tesla Mosquito has been with us from the jump, man, supporting us, supporting what we do, man. Give him a like on Facebook and Instagram at Treaty6. He's doing some great things. He just dropped 4 new colors. Take a look, man. Get yourself a pre-order. It's looking fly, ain't it?
Yeah, bro, for sure.
Hey, next thing we're gonna do, man, is I think we're gonna introduce our guest for Sunday, man. You want to do? Nah. I'm just messing with you guys.
Don't do it.
Hey, I gotta wait on that, man. Stay tuned. A little bit later in the show, we're gonna announce our guest on Sunday, man, and it's huge. They're huge. Yeah, man. This is gonna be exciting. So stay tuned for that, man. So obviously for this podcast, we wanted to do something a little bit different. We wanted to let you guys kind of get to know us a little bit better, who we are, what we do, and stuff like that. So I asked my brother if he would come on and be our next guest. He's got a story here that I think is going to resonate with a lot of people. It's a very important story that he needs to tell. So I'm looking forward to it. Brother, you ready to do this thing?
Yeah, bro, let's go.
Hey, let's go. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you guys to my brother, River Thomas, man. Give us a little bit about who you are, man, and what you're up to lately, bro.
Hey, what's up? My name's River Thomas. I'm from Musqueam First Nation. For all you non-Cree speakers, that is Loon Lake. That's situated in Treaty 6 territory, aka Creators Country. A little about me right now, man. I'm playing volleyball, and I'm currently a student athlete at Olds College. I'm taking the Surface Land Management program. I'm doing my final year, and hopefully I'll be out of here, bro, if I make it through, because COVID, man, online schooling, that's a struggle. And I know everybody's struggling with that, for real.
For sure, bro. And you balance a lot of acts, obviously. Not only are you a volleyball player, but you're also going to school. You do a little bit of modeling as well, too. And obviously you're in the military, man. So pretty much like a full load, huh?
Yeah, pretty much, man. It's you're always doing something, but like that's good, bro. Like you have to keep yourself busy. Like growing up, man, my dad, he never took a day off. He always said, like, there's always something to do, right? So even on his days off when he's supposed to be relaxing, he's like outside, man. He's like fixing the fences, he's fixing vehicles, he's making sure the house is more homey. He's always doing something. That's where I got a lot of my lessons from. I'm sure you guys will find out more.
Nice. Sounds good. Sorry, we got a little bit of technical difficulties. I'm just going to figure River's mic out a little bit. Let me know if the sound's coming in a little bit good now. Give me like a thumbs up or something like that. We're just going to mess. Good now. There we go.
Good.
Can
you hear me?
Hey, he's out there. All right. So anyways, like you said, bro, volleyball, man. I know you're a big volleyball player. Obviously, you're playing here now at the college, bro. What's it like trying to like navigate COVID and still train and keep your workouts right and still get into school, man? Has it been tough?
Bro, it's really tough, man. Like with social distancing, man, it's like they want you to stay 6 feet apart, right? But then like my coach gets mad when you don't close the block, right? And I'm just like, shit. No, but like it's strange, man. It's really strange. Like we're fortunate to be one of the few schools who are actually training right now. A lot don't get that. It's just because our location, it's a little more rural than these big cities.
Right.
So like this, we're kind of more in like a safe space to play, right? So hopefully the season kicks up in January. That's what everybody's thinking. Nationals are canceled, so we won't be going to nationals next year. But provincials, that's the goal, bro.
For sure, man. And I know you guys got a great young team over there, man. Ryan's been doing some great work. Shout out Ryan Marston, man, for giving Indigenous student athletes a chance, man. Obviously, he's got the Walking Bear brothers there now. He's got Phil Sutherland, and before, obviously, like Tyler Donnelly as well, too, man. So shout out Ryan for doing a good job, man, getting us people, our Indigenous people in through those routes. I know it's important, man. I just want to say that real quick. So first things first, man. Before we can tell all the new, bro, you got to take us back a little bit, bro. Give us a little bit, your Crime Town roots, bro, your early Soto, the growing up, bro. Give me a little bit of maybe some good stuff, some bad stuff. Let me know what it was like, bro.
Well, I grew up in Soto First Nation. I classify that as my home, right? Because that's where all my connection comes from, to the land, bro. I was like a res kid playing outside. My parents actually finished building that house a couple months after I was born, right? So they moved into that house. I remember I got a dog, Jojo. She lived for a couple months before I was born. She was born, right? So I grew up with that dog until I was like 14, and she passed away. Yeah, I mean, it was growing up in the res. I enjoyed it, man. Like, I really got to figure out who I was growing up with both my grandparents. They've passed away now. All my grandparents have passed away when I was in my teens, but I was lucky enough to learn those foundations from them as a kid. You know what I mean? They spoke Cree to me, so my Cree's it's okay. Like, I don't speak it fluently, like Absispaga Nehawian. Yeah, so a little bit of Cree here and there. Yeah, but like I could understand it fairly well. Yeah, that's a lot of my childhood is with my grandparents, because mom and dad always work. You know what I mean? Sometimes sisters would be busy with school, so I'd be visiting Cookham and Mushroom down the hill. They live like 100 meters down the hill from us. We're situated in Soto on like one of the highest houses in the res, so you can see Jackfish Lake, you can see Murray Lake, you can see everything.
Hey, that's dope, bro. Go check out Soto. Go check out this guy's grandparents' place, man. It sounds like a whole view, man. Definitely, like behind us here. Maybe this is Soto right behind us. Y'all don't even know that. So, anyways, bro. Obviously, like growing up, you kind of you got some good. You get the cultural teachings. You get to spend around your grandparents a lot. But I know there was some stuff that you seen early on that had kind of made some choice, that you decided to make choices for your life, man. You want to talk a little bit about kind of what you seen growing up and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, just like anyway, man, like we have to dealing with intergenerational trauma, right? Like every First Nations people knows someone, or they themselves are going through intergenerational trauma, right? And growing up, like I'm the youngest of 7. I'm the baby. Like all my siblings, my mom and dad, they still called me baby until like my teens. I was like, okay, cut it out. Like,
yeah, for real.
Yeah, for real. So yeah, like growing up, I remember seeing like alcohol and whatnot. I remember seeing parties, like you have no Wi-Fi. That was back before the internet days.
Yeah,
so you just
get sent to the room.
get sent to the room, chill out, right? Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why I chose to be sober, was seeing that growing up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
I remember experiencing that. And I remember just like, even just seeing people drunk, just like out in public places, I was like, I never want to do that. At a very, very young age, I made up my mind that I wanted to be sober. I remember one time actually, one of my brothers got picked up, right? And my mom was crying. And I remember I must have been like 6 years old or something. I remember going up to her, and she even tells me the story. She actually reminded me of the story not too long ago. She was like, do you remember when I was crying when your brothers got picked up, and you came to me, you gave me a hug, and you made me a promise, and you said, Mom, I promise to never drink and do drugs. I said, I used to have a little list, bro, so I said do drugs, but like, you know what I mean, man.
For
yeah,
sure,
so for sure.
So obviously, like, yeah, you see your brother get scooped, man. You see kind of, the intergenerational trauma that sets in. How hard is that kind of trying to grow up as a kid, and seeing that around you and around your surroundings? Is it hard to stay positive even as a young kid? Like with all your surroundings going on?
Yeah, sort of, man. But like growing up, bro, I was very, very adamant on never trying drugs, like not smoking, not drinking. I remember like I hated the smell of cigarette smoke growing up. It's just like, hey, I didn't like drugs either. But like I for one have absolutely nothing against weed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I endorse medical marijuana. I mean, it's a plant. It grows. So obviously creator must have put it here for a reason, right? But it ain't for me.
For sure.
Alcohol, on the other hand, yeah, that was just something I pretty much chose not to do. And growing up,
I was very adamant that like, yo, I don't drink. Meeting new people, hang out with people. I just told people I didn't drink. And people would be like, come on, have a shot. They tried peer pressure me.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, I don't drink. That ain't me. You know what I mean? And like, people grown to respect it growing up throughout the years. And it came to the point where even like my homies would have my back. Like I remember you a couple times, like all the boys, like even here, like all my volleyball brothers, like T-Sky, Rise, Phil, Usky, Tyler, all them, they always have my back. There's like, hey, does you want to drink? And there's like, nah, River doesn't drink. You know what I mean? So like you guys helped take that load off me whenever we meet new people and people are like, you want to drink? I'm just, and then like, I don't even have to say it anymore. Everybody's like, nah, he doesn't drink. So like, it's really, really good to have that support system around.
Hey, for sure, brother, for sure, man. One thing I do, I kind of want to talk about just before we go into sobriety a little bit more. Obviously, if you can't see, man, this guy's got some of the most beautiful braids in all of Indian country, man. Give him a little look on the camera real quick. Those are 2 clean braids, ladies and gentlemen. He braided them himself, but we all know Auntie Lorna braids your hair the best, huh?
Oh, bro, hey. Those are those grand entry braids.
Hey,
bro.
there you go. So anyways, talk to us a little bit about, you know, growing up with a braid, you know, like people misconceptions about you being a girl, or like, why do you have your hair long and shit like that?
Yeah, for real. I remember like growing up, actually funny story before I was going to take it back, but my dad gave me a mullet once.
Yo, I remember those pictures.
Yeah, no, for real. I don't know why, because I don't know if it was going through his head. Like my hair was growing nice, like I was a kid, and my dad just
my dad was like, I'm gonna take River to get a trim. He told my mom, right? And then mom was like, okay. And like I come home with the fucking mullet, bro.
Yeah,
it's a mullet. I get the bangs, bro. I get the short hair and everything. And like my mom said she started crying. She's like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? But like I didn't know any better. I was like 4 years old. I didn't know what the hell mullet was. Like look back at pictures, it was kind of fresh. But my sisters, they actually I remember they were teasing me growing up, and they're like mom sent you to get a haircut with dad, and dad didn't have enough money, so they only cut your hair halfway.
That's me, man. There's Lacey right there.
Yeah.
Lacey, you guys are evil for that one, man.
Yeah, for real. But
yeah, talk to us a little bit about the braids.
Man. Yeah, about the braids. It's it honestly, like I kind of want you to touch up on this too, but like it's honestly kind of a toxic masculinity thing. You know what I mean? Like historically, our people have always had long hair. You look at Paul Maker, he had some sick dreads. You know what I mean? Like all our ancestors had long hair. We even got the, I don't know if you can see them, but like right here, see I got the dangly earrings on. That's something we've always done. And like I remember growing up, and I was in McDonald's this one time, and this old Caucasian fella, he thought I was a girl, and I was like, what? Why? And I was like, long hair. So then I told my dad, and my dad was like, go tell him you're not a girl. So I went up to him and I was like, hey, I'm not a girl. I'm a boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and like,
sure.
From what I know, I always wanted to keep my hair long because I feel like it's a symbol of strength. I feel like it keeps me more connected to my identity. And honestly, like ask me, like anytime you want to ask me about my hair, depending on how I'm feeling, I'll give you different questions or different answers. Sorry.
Right, for sure, bro. Yeah, like you were saying on toxic masculinity, man. I actually had a braid till I was about 6 years old. And then my grandma convinced me to cut it, man. She was evil like that. Nah, I love my grandma, but she just, no one else was able to braid my hair but one lady, and that was my auntie Roberta. So my hair was always messy and kind of out of place and stuff like that, and I wouldn't let anyone braid it. So I got my hair cut. Currently, I'm growing my hair back, man. I'm actually trying to grow it out slowly. So yeah, bro. I'm hoping that one day I'll have some beautiful locks like that. But no, man, it gets into that toxic masculinity thing, you know, like we as men are forced to have a certain identity or a certain idea about us. And thankfully, like with my dad always showed me that, you know, it's okay to be compassionate. It's okay to have those womanly features and, you know, feel who you are as a person, you know, and never put yourself in a box. So shout out Ray, and shout out my auntie Berta too for always giving me some fresh braids, man. I loved her a lot, man. But anyways, I want to jump into sobriety a little bit more because obviously, you know, I've been around you. I've watched you. You know, it's really cool that like that we're homies and we're brothers, but in a lot of ways, bro, I look up to you, you know, like you're somebody that I've always kind of modeled my life after in certain ways, you know, like I've never seen you take a drink, you know, anytime someone comes up to you, I've seen you be a nice person to them, you know, like there's certain qualities that I like about you, and especially about the sobriety, because obviously, you know, like I got my own issues and stuff like that. So talk to us a little bit more about sobriety, bro.
I mean, you have to be strong. Like everybody goes through their struggles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, no, it's
how would I word this properly? It's being sober. It's like, it's kind of a mindset. I never experienced what you did,
Right.
but because I personally never chose to put that in my system, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like why I chose sobriety as well is like when you look at the medicine wheel, you're supposed to take care of all aspects of your life, right? And like with some of our teachings, when you drink, it's like your soul leaves your body for a couple of days, right? And that's why people feel lost with drinking.
For sure.
Actually, man, I want to get into your struggles, bro, because I mean, like, we're kind of talking about mine, and this is from somebody who's never chose to drink, right? Because
Right.
I never made that choice, but like, I kind of want to see like how it is from your perspective, from somebody who had troubles with like drugs and alcohol, and now you took that better path. I kind of want to see how you maneuver that.
For sure, bro. So obviously, like, I don't want to make this too much about me, but I'll talk a little bit on it, because there was a time in my life where I feel like everything was aligned for me to succeed. You know, like I had a good job. I just got accepted into college. I was playing college soccer. Everything was kind of just aligned for me to succeed. And around this time is when I started kind of slowly getting into drugs and alcohol, you know, like, and it was kind of a casual weekend thing, you know, Monday to Friday, I do my thing. And then Saturday and Sunday, you know, go to soccer, kind of do my thing, and then have fun with the boys all weekend. But I wouldn't let it kind of come into my day-to-day life. And then slowly over time, what happened is that stuff started to creep in, drugs and alcohol. So, you know, I got into school. I had my job. I was working. I was doing everything. And then all of a sudden it started to take a hold of me in a way that I didn't even see it coming. So I started, you know, getting pretty deep. Obviously you were there at those times, and you kind of saw that, you know, but I watched myself piss every opportunity and hard work that I had done away. And it was because of drugs and alcohol, and it was because of the choices that I made, you know. And that was a really hard time in my life, man. I felt really awful. And I actually went into a deeper spiral, because I would have to like get up in the morning, and I would have to look myself in the face, you know, and to look at myself, and just all I saw was a failure. All I saw was all the work that I'd put in, all the work that my dad had put in, everybody around me supporting me, and I watched it go away, right? And there was nights where, you know, like I would go out with you guys for a little bit, my close friends, and then all of a sudden, before, you know, 4 or 5 in the morning, I'm calling you guys to pull me out of some, you know, trap house around people. And no offense to the people, you know, like they're good people, and you know, I pray for them, but I was in an environment that I didn't belong in, because I was so away from you guys, you know. So thankfully, in watching you and watching all my friends now, I know that that's the path I need to be on. Obviously, I still struggle. You know, I've had my slip ups since then, but I remain focused, because I know that, you know, I strive for that, for what you're doing and for what the bros are doing, you know. So I can't thank you guys kind of enough for giving me that support when I needed it the most, bro, because there was some rough, dark times in there.
Yeah, bro, for real. Like I remember some of the times actually, like me and Cole, shout out Cole, that's our other best friend. We'd be like, we'd come home
And like, you know, obviously like we go out to clubs and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, cause I'm basically the designated driver all the time.
because I don't drink, right? So like, but that's all that matters, is like make sure everybody gets home safe. You know what I mean?
I don't mind dancing, chilling with the boys, but like I remember me and Cole be sleeping, we get a call from Raymond at like 6 in the morning, like come pick me up. And they're just like, oh shit, okay. Then like right away we jump to it, and we'd go pick him up. And the most important thing there was like the way I thought is like not to judge you, bro. You know what I mean? Because everybody has their own story. Like everybody has their own struggles, and I don't know every single struggle that you have. I don't know your story, so I can't judge you. All I can do as like one of your best friends, bro, is be there for you, and until you're ready to face those demons and conquer them, then I could help you with those. Those you're still gonna have to do alone, but I could basically, I can be like that shoulder for you to cry on and everything like that. And that's really how I kind of been maneuvering the situation with you.
For sure, man, and it's been great. You know, like I don't look at myself as a role model or somebody that they should model around. You know, I look to guys like this. I look to guys like my brothers. You know, like Jason and Cole, and guys that have been with me and gave me that support and let me know. You know, like I got your back through this, man. So once again, man, that took a lot. You know, just to talk about that, bro. So thank you for sharing that with me, and you know, I'm thankful that I got to share that too, man. But we're gonna move on a little bit, man, because there's how do I word this? There's opportunities that you've gotten in your modeling career. You know, for those of you that don't know, River is a model. You know, part-time, full-time. I mean, you can tell by the guy's looks. I mean, he looks straight out of a Disney movie. You know what I mean? Like handsome fella. So, anyways, man, take us through your first start in modeling and how you kind of got it going.
Yeah, actually, I remember like just growing up. I remember
this lady, her name is Disa Tatusis. Right. She's actually a designer, and she always wanted to model. And like I was a kid, I didn't know any better. I was like, modeling sounds kind of girly, you know what I mean? So I never did it. But like as I got older, I kind of like put on some weight. I wasn't like 140 pounds anymore. You know, I lost glasses. And there's actually this one round dance I went to after high school. And this lady, Tashina Buffalo, shout out Tashina Buffalo Designs. That's who started me off. She was actually too shy to come to me. So she sent, I think, her little cousins to come give me a card. And it said Tashina Buffalo Designs. And it was like, hey, do you want to come model for Tashina Buffalo in Saskatchewan Fashion Week in a couple of weeks? And I was like, word. And then I was with my uncle Edwinton. Shout out Uncle Edwinton. We probably got to get on a podcast. That guy has stories. He's a young man, probably like late 30s, early 40s. He speaks the language. He has stories, and that's who I kind of look up to for like, and anything that I deal with, like struggle traditions, I was asking questions. But so I asked. So I ended up going to that fashion show, and I modeled Tashina's looks for her or whatever. She has some really nice clothing, and I started doing those a bit. She actually made me the brand ambassador as well. She gave me like this crazy cardigan. She gave me this beautiful coat. She like really hooked it up. Like I wouldn't have done the modeling I'd done today if Tashina didn't give me that opportunity and see that in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
sure. So then so it started off with Tashina, and where did it go after Tashina? Who else did I model for? And then it kind of, and then my next big shoot I remember was with Alicia Monroe Photography. She's like an amazing photographer. It was with Helen Oro Designs. I remember I walked for her. And it was with Roger Rabbitskin. Nice guy, Roger Rabbitskin. He had this thing called Dream PK Modeling. And it was actually a missing and murdered Indigenous women and men photo shoot that we done, and we were out near PA at some ranch. And funny story there, everybody got there, like I had this ribbon shirt on, I had my hair down, I had the face paint, and like everybody got a horse, right? and like I show up last just because like I was kind of getting ready and whatnot, and I show up last, and they're like, all right, River, there's your horse. And I look, and like that horse had no saddle, bro. I had to go bareback on that horse, bro. Everybody else got a saddle, so I was just like keeping it real to the ancestors.
Hey, for sure, man. Hey, talk me through, bro, because I know I was super proud of you, bro. I'm sure everyone else was, bro. Talk to us a little bit about London Fashion Week and how that was and everything else.
Bro, London Fashion Week was crazy. Once again, Sheena Buffalo hooked it up again.
She asked me, she's like, yo, you want to come to London? And same group of people, same group of women, they invited me. And I was like, for sure, for sure. And then, yeah, London was a treat, bro. Like, that was actually the second time I've been to London. The first time I went to London, I was backpacking Europe with my uncle. That was after I graduated high school. Yeah, so we did London Fashion Week, did some modeling, did some runway. It was a treat. I actually remember it was this lady came up to me and she's like, "Yo, I love your look," and this agency from London actually wanted to sign me, and I passed it up. Why? I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, at the time when I passed up that, when I passed it up over there, I remember thinking to myself that I wanted to be more than a face. You know what I mean? Like, if I were just to take modeling seriously right there, that's all people would ever look at me is just this face, you know, like some big old dumb old handsome idiot.
Yeah, big handsome idiot.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I turned it down, because I felt like I wanted to show that I have more to offer. Like, I could use my brains and I have a lot more to offer than these looks. So that was one of the reasons why I turned it down. And do I regret it? No, man, because I'm happy where I am with life, bro. Many, many more opportunities came after that.
For sure, bro. And obviously, talk to us a little bit about Tokyo, bro. Obviously, you went over there too and did a little bit of modeling, did a photo shoot, man. Give us a little bit about how Tokyo was. How was Tokyo, like the city, man? Because obviously, man, we're getting a few questions about how Tokyo was. So give us a little bit on that.
Tokyo was a treat.
Hey.
I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Tokyo is amazing, bro. It's crazy. Just like technology in Tokyo, man. Everything in Tokyo, it's like I would go back in a heartbeat. I met some of the coolest people ever over there. They were all like Americans and whatnot, and all they want to do is see people succeed, right? And so I went up there with the main person I hung out with was with my bro James Carrier, who was also a model as well, and Michaela, one of our friends, Michaela Ross. So there was three of us. We were, yeah, man, like shopping's crazy there. It's so bright. We went. You ever watched Tokyo Drift?
Yes, sir.
You know that. You know the one scene, bro, when who is that? Han's getting chased by the main bad guy there, which is I don't know. But then they go drifting through that very, very busy street, and you see everybody.
Yeah, the big pack. Yeah, packed up.
Yeah, bro. That's on Shibuya Crossing, and that's like the absolutely most like busiest street in the world, man. I actually got a photo shoot done there. It's on my Instagram. That place is crazy. Yeah, I was there. I remember we went to a club there one night, and we were like tired or whatever, and we're like, all right, let's go. And then they so it was like 2 or 3, and we're like, oh, I wonder when the clubs close, you know? So we go ask, and they're like, clubs are open till 6 a.m. And we're just like, what? No way. And there's like, yeah, the clubs over here stay open till 6 a.m. So we're like, holy cow.
Damn.
So like the culture there, I guess, is kind of like you go there, you club all night, and you take the subway home because public transit doesn't open until 6 a.m. again. So you take the public transit home, and you have your working class people, and you have people who just spent all night partying, basically in the same subway. And it's a treat. It's a treat.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, bro, you know, obviously on this Tokyo trip, man, little bit about it, man. You did go with Indig Inc., man. You know, Heather Abbey, obviously, you know her. She was the one that kind of set up the trip. I know she was just recently in the news. I don't know if you guys saw this, but yeah, Heather Abbey was on Wheel of Fortune just a couple of days ago, man. I know there's a little bit of controversy surrounding the trip. Try not to touch your mic too much. Yeah, controversy surrounding the trip. Obviously, like a little bit going on there, man. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Heather Abbey, if you're listening to this, just pay those people back, man.
Pay those people back, Heather Abbey.
Wheel of Fortune money. It's crazy, but yeah, no. So like a little about my story.
Okay, time out. Yeah, no, sorry. So a little bit about my. No, for real, pay him back.
No, for real.
Don't worry about paying me back. Just make sure everybody else gets back. So basically, how that went was there was, I guess she wasn't really honest with everybody.
Right.
I remember it was announced. I got invited. I was like, oh, let's go Tokyo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
Modeling,
sure.
Tokyo, squid, anime, everything.
Yeah, just popped in your head.
Just popped in my head. And I was like, all right, let's go. So yeah, she sent the invites or whatever to Tokyo. I paid my delegation fee. I paid for my flights. And then I remember she messaged me and she was like, hey, we're also going again in November or something like that. Do you want to go then? And I was like, I thought about it and I was like, no, I was like, I'm going to be a full-time student in September again. I'm going to be playing like college volleyball. So it's like, I'm going to jump on this opportunity before it slips away. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So I went and we went. And I was like very, very oblivious to everything that was going on.
Yeah.
I guess just because like I was just a model, you know what I mean? All I did was just take myself and all my clothes out there. That's all I had to do because all I had to do was like either go like walk on runway or like pose in front of a camera. So I didn't need too much. You know what I mean? And yeah, so I took my stuff and we ended up sleeping in pods, bro.
There's an infamous story too. Like you guys were supposed to stay in like a luxury Tokyo hotel room or something like that, and then she like canceled out last minute. I heard that place in Tokyo is still looking for their 12 Gs too, but they gotta wait in line, man. Those indigenous creators need their money first. But yeah, keep going.
We're gonna get the indigenous people back.
Hey.
Yeah, so we didn't sleep in the hotels. Instead, we slept in some pods.
Yeah.
They looked like coffins.
Damn.
But I mean, I ain't complaining, bro.
Right,
Those
yeah.
are some of the best sleeps I've ever had in my life. But like at the same time, I could understand why everybody else was upset because we already had our money for hotel rooms. That wasn't what we paid for. And but I was just trying to make the best of everything, bro. You know how it is, right?
For
like
sure.
I'm young, I'm across the world. Like, why not try to make the best out of everything? So yeah, we slept in the pods or whatever, and then I guess like we were supposed to do some kind of like big pop-up shop with the fashion show and everything.
Mhm.
None of that really happened. It was just like there wasn't even a fashion show. I just remember it was at a mall.
Yeah.
And I remember I was just walking around, hanging out at the mall, eating food. I had some of the best food at that mall. I don't even know what it was called, but bro, I want to go back to Japan so bad. And promise, we'll go back to Japan, bro. We'll go back.
Yes,
but yes,
sir.
So back to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't even do no runway, and I was like, this is kind of strange. You know what I mean? I was like, so like stuff kind of ain't adding up or whatever. And I was like, And so I was like optimistic. I was like, okay, maybe we'll do runway in like a couple days or something. And nothing was happening. But like each and every day, me and Jameis and sometimes Michaela, we just wake up, do our own thing every single day, go hang out, go literally just like experience Tokyo, Japan. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Every single day. That's what we do unless we had something specific time. So we weren't aware what was going back at the Coffin Hotel. No, yeah, bro. Yeah, so we didn't know what was going on back at the hotel until this one morning, if I remember correctly, we were getting ready to leave, and we wanted to go check out the aquarium, like downtown in the big old Space Needle there. It's a big old Space Needle you can see on top of Tokyo. Is before it used to be like one of the highest points that you could go in the world, man-made structures. So like it's crazy up there. Yeah, so we wanted to go check it out up there. And I remember Jameis went upstairs and
he like opened the door and everybody was having a meeting. And he looked around and like everybody kind of looked like upset. Some people were crying. And then so he like back slowly, shuts the door, comes running downstairs. He's like, River, you know what's going on? I'm like, nah, bro, what do you mean? He's like, everybody's crying and stuff upstairs. We're like, why? And then we didn't know. So then we're just like, oh, whatever. I was like, we'll figure it out when we get back. So then we ended up getting ready. And I remember Heather looked like super upset. She looked really sad or whatever. And like, she didn't look like she had anybody to talk to kind of thing.
Right.
So then we're just like, hey, Heather, you want to come hang out at the aquarium with us? You know what I mean? Like, we're just going to go do our own thing because that's all we're doing. So we invited her to the aquarium or whatever. And yeah, she just hung out with us all day at the aquarium. And we ended up going back to the hotel that night. And yeah, I mean, nothing happened after that kind of for a while.
Right. Sounds good, man. Well, like we said here, man, Heather, Abbey, pay them Indigenous creators, man. They did a lot of hard work, man, and I think they're the first ones on your list, man. But overall, it sounds like you still kind of made the most of your trip. You know, obviously, you know that others couldn't make the most of their trip because, you know, their livelihood was kind of on display.
Yeah, yeah, bro, exactly. That's what I mean. Like the vendors, man, they took so much stuff. I remember the first day there, we were promised taxis and we're like subwaying it, bro. Where's like a bunch of like 6 feet tall Cree people, right? And there's like all the on average the Japanese population is more short.
Yeah.
So like we're just all like big and we have like giant duffel bags and we're just like hauling those around. We're just, you can just tell we're pissing people off. Yeah. So like, man, those vendors, like I feel so bad for them is because they took their livelihoods there. They were going there with like empty promises. But I don't want to tell too much about that because there's actually a kind of a documentary coming out on it. Yeah, one of my friends and I guess like acquaintances who was there, they actually work in media and film. They're actually making a documentary. It's called Surviving Heather Abbey. No, just kidding. No, it's not. No, it ain't. No, but yeah, no, there's definitely a documentary coming out where people are gonna tell their stories more and more, and I hope to be a part of that to tell more of my story as well.
For sure, bro. That's that. So yeah, that wraps up the modeling portion of the show, man. That's really cool, man. Obviously, like I kind of knew a little bit about what you're doing over there, but didn't get the day-to-day ins and outs, man. And definitely anytime you need a manager, man, I got you, bro.
Yeah, bro. I mean, even that, man, like just with modeling, bro, like I don't take it serious enough. Maybe I should start. Like, maybe I should definitely start looking into an agency or something, start taking modeling seriously again because I'm not getting any younger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So might as well, bro. Might as well check it out.
Yeah, that face might stay handsome forever, though, man. Look at him. He's built to last. Let's take a quick Pepsi break here, bro.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hey, we're trying to get Pepsi to sign us, man. So anytime you guys see anything that we post, man, tag Pepsi. They're going to sponsor us eventually, man. We're working really hard for it. We love Pepsi over here, and it's getting quite expensive to afford. So Pepsi, sign us.
Yeah, that Pepsi's still sleeping, big guy.
There we go, bro. All right, let's switch it up a little bit, bro. Obviously, you know, going into school, man, do it after high school, you kind of want to take the college route, right? Obviously, kind of after the modeling's done and everything else, you're thinking, you know, what do I do next? Where's the next steps? So talk to me a little bit about like school. You know, obviously, I know you're an inaugural part. You're kind of a big part of Olds College. You also work there too. But also start with the beginning, like when you first got to college, you know, like the tough adjustments and, you know, coming to a college level volleyball program. I know that you didn't really play volleyball in high school. You kind of picked it up afterwards. So kind of just talk me through your volleyball journey to get to college and now you being in college.
Actually, didn't. I took a break from school. Once I graduated high school, I went like head first into the military. But it's up to you if you want to talk about the military first and then college, or else we'll just go into college and talk about the military afterwards.
You know what? I think we're rolling here. Give me a little bit of school, and then we'll talk a little bit about the military.
Okay, with so school, I'm gonna be real honest, man. Everybody thought I wasn't gonna succeed, bro. For real, like I
Graduated a year late of high school. Opposed to graduating when I was 18 years old, I graduated when I was 19 because like high school was tough for me. It was really tough, and I wasn't supposed to succeed. My teachers kind of saw it, and that's what they kind of led me to believe. You know what I mean? But I did it, bro. I graduated high school, and I started playing volleyball. After I graduated, I moved to Saskatoon, and I was kind of I was doing work with the military there because I was like full time, more full time, and I started playing volleyball. I remember my buddy Sanford Strongarm Jr. For real, shout out Sanford, bro. Like you started my volleyball career. I didn't actually start playing volleyball until I was 19 years old. So he asked me to go play men's league with them, and I was playing whatnot. And then I kind of started playing more and more, and it was just I had so much fun playing. You know what I mean? Because like I was already athletic enough just from playing like previous sports, growing up playing hockey, growing up playing soccer, like growing up playing like baseball. Like literally, bro, every single res kid can like pick up a bat and swing, and they're just like natural athletes. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how volleyball was with me. And so I played for a couple of years. I played for like 3 years before I was like playing like res tourneys. Not really. I wasn't really known as a volleyball player. I just go play like pickup teams. And it wasn't until this one, my bro Waylon Oj, he wanted me. He was like, "Hey, bro, why don't you play at a post-secondary level?" Because I was like, I guess he saw potential in that.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Sure." Like, who do I contact? He was like, "Actually, contact Ryan Marsden. That's my coach at Olds College here, and tell him you want to play." So I was like, "All right." And so I got in contact with Ryan. I told him what I was doing, who I am, and Tyler, shout out Tyler, my brother Tyler Donnelly, he actually, same thing with him. We both messaged the coach, and he was like, "Why don't you guys come to a open tryout or whatever?" But the scheduling never ever worked out. It's just like it was too hectic. And then there was this big tournament in Wabasca up north. I played with the associates, like it was Sanford, Leslie, Roasting, Waylon Oj, and Joel. And like these guys are like the foundation of my volleyball career. Like these guys started me off. They believed in me. And so we went to go play in that tournament. We ended up taking second that tournament. But I remember after the first day, he came up to me because he wanted to meet us up in Wabasca, right? So he came up to me and he was like, "Hey, River, nice to meet you. I'm Ryan Marsden." I was like, "Oh, wow." I was like, "Nice to meet you." And he's like, "It's pretty impressive or whatever." And he's like, "I want you to come to Olds." I was like, "No way." I like, this is so surreal, bro. So surreal. Like, I'm like, from never ever playing volleyball until I'm like an adult to becoming a starter, it was like one of the most surreal things in my life. And like, I thank Ryan for like seeing the potential in me. And I was like, for sure. So I signed immediately. Same thing. Tyler signed. We took second that tournament. And like a week later, Thunder Sky signed. And it was us three there. Us three went to Olds College together. And then our first year, bro, it was tough. Just like kind of just like being used to home, just like being used to the res and everything. Like there was expectations.
Yeah.
And one thing I realized is like we had to find balance between our two different lifestyles. You know what I mean? Because you have to find a way to balance your Indigenous lifestyle with like this Western society, and we kind of find those were colliding. They weren't merging correctly. Like Indian time's a thing. Everybody who's saying Indian time isn't a real thing,
it's a real thing.
That's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
I mean, we didn't have watches like 200 years ago, man. You look at the sun, and you're like, it's about that time. I'll head on out to go see my niece now. You know what I mean, bro? Yeah. So like, Yeah. So it was kind of, we were kind of struggling there our first year or whatever, but we got through it. We got through it, and then here came our second year, and Tyler ended up leaving that year, so it was me and Thunder Sky, and that it was just three of us. The first year was three of us Indigenous boys in a in a uh, in a college league where like that was never seen before, right? And then the second year came, and T-Sky's little brother, who's also like, all these boys are like my little brothers, man, for real. Like I absolutely like love these kids, man. Like I feel like the big brother to them because I want them to do so well. They have way more potential than I will ever have, bro. They're just so sick with it. So Ryzen came our second year, and there was now I think 6 Indigenous people on the team. There was myself, Thunder Sky, Ryzen, Phil, and Dawson. Yeah, I think there was just 5 of us. Yeah, because Tyler left. So there was us 5 Indigenous people on the old college team. And like Ryan, I just can't thank him enough for like actually coming out to a res and like seeing the talent that we have there, bro. Because even you know it, bro. Like there's so much talent in reserve tourneys.
Yeah, man. Let me speak on this for a minute, man, because it's something very important, man. We as Indigenous athletes are stars, man. Absolute studs. You can go into any reserve across Turtle Island here, and you're gonna pick out a kid that works harder, that knows the game more, that tries harder, that loves it, but they're just not getting the correct opportunities, man. And it's very disheartening to see that we're not getting those opportunities, man. So thank you to Ryan Marsden. Thank you to the coaches that believed in me. Thank you to the coaches that are out there promoting Indigenous athletes, man. It's really important that we get out there and we start to break down those walls of oppression, and we start to get to where we need to belong. Because like you said, man, there's athletes across Turtle Island, man, that are extremely talented, but for one reason or another, they're not given the same opportunity. They're not given the same time, the same chance as other people, man. So I don't know Ryan personally, but I just want to thank you from all of us Indigenous athletes for giving these guys a chance, man, giving them a platform to be able to do what they do, because it's only going up, man. Can you imagine when you guys are all in the starting lineup, like an all Indigenous college athlete lineup, man? That's going to be crazy, bro.
Yeah, bro, like that's the goal, like that's history. And like even having a couple Indigenous players on a college team, I don't think that's ever been done before, especially in the ACAC or anywhere in Canada. And like now, like having like
5, 6 Indigenous players, like that's remarkable. And shout out to Ryan for all of that, for real.
For sure, bro. I know, like I said, like I know when like, not to make this about me again, but you know, when I got to college, when I first got there, man, it was like a deer in the headlights. You can probably say the same thing, because you know you're good enough, you know that you're talented enough, you know you should be here, but it's just that fear of not being able to play where you're used to, play in the res circuit, play where you feel comfortable around people that you're comfortable. So you have to go into a completely different world and then try to excel in that world. And sometimes it gets very difficult. And that's where a lot of our athletes don't take that next step, because they're stuck feeling like they're not good enough, you know, like, and that's something that needs to be addressed, that we need to work on, that we need to get better at. So
yeah, bro, yeah, for real. So yeah, and like speak on that is like, without a doubt, man, like
We do need to see each other succeed, and we have to have each other's back. There has to be more resources for Indigenous athletes, because believe it or not, man, I'm telling you the truth, Indigenous athletes are the future. Whether it's the Olympics at a national level, it's the Indigenous athletes, for real, bro. So I'm gonna just go back to my college story right now.
Yeah,
What's going on? Yeah, so second year, it was a little better. I actually got named one of the team captains.
hey, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. So leadership position, I was like, oh shit, I got voted in, and I was like, cool, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? Like with everything, man, you just got to tackle it head first. You're either in a little bit or don't, like, or else you're in the whole way. You know what I mean? So yeah, so second year came around, Ryzen came to school, and Phil came to school. We signed him, and second year was a lot better, bro. Like when we first got here, Olds College wasn't known to be very good, man. Like, you know that. Like,
For sure.
everybody kind of clowned Old College,
Yeah,
right?
bro.
Everybody clowned
Easy
Old
win.
College. Yeah, easy dub, right? Like, people didn't even put their starters. But then last year, bro, it was like a complete change in culture, man. We started winning. People start putting their starters against us. There's so many matches where we could have beat these top teams, but like just those few extra points. But like this year, bro, I know we're gonna get it. Because we know how it feels to be on both sides of the spectrum now, winning and losing. This third year is like where stuff's gonna change for Olds College, I personally feel.
Hey, that's huge, bro. That's huge, man. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, man, I'm only 20 minutes away at Regia College, but I'm cheering for you guys all the time, man. It's very awesome to see. Like I said, man, the brothers upstairs, man. Obviously, shout out to the Walking Bear brothers. I know they got a legacy themselves. We should bring them on here sometime, man. They got a great story as well, too, man. A whole group of volleyball brothers.
Bro, for real, man, I'm so jealous of those guys, bro. They're all natural talent. That's literally their natural talent, bro. Like, I'm going hard in the gym, bro. I'm going hard on training, man. Like, I'm absolutely pushing everything because that's all I've ever been, bro, is a grinder. You know what I mean? Like, for sure, volleyball wasn't a gift. All I ever did was grind. And like those boys, man, they're just so natural to the game. Ryzen's like crazy, bro. Thunder Sky was the ACAC All-Star, ACAC All-Conference. He won an award yesterday for an outside, or last year for an outside. Ryzen's gonna be crazy. The youngest brother, Usty, who's first year, he's getting the hang of it, bro, but he's gonna be a beast. They're all gonna be beasts. And their brothers before them were beasts. It's like each and every younger brother just gets better than the last. So
Yeah, like a legacy, man. Hey, we got a quick question here. We're gonna do some fan questions at the end, but obviously since we're talking about school right now, tell us a little bit about your program and what you're doing at the college.
Okay, so what I'm taking is surface land management, and basically why I chose that.
Well, why I first came to school here is because I wanted to play volleyball. Is because I want to prove to myself that you can do anything you put your mind to, right? And like growing up, never playing volleyball, and then just suddenly pushing it, and I'm just like, all right, let's go. And then I get this volleyball scholarship, and I'm just like, let's go, we're here. And then I was like, okay, now I start worrying about school. And honestly, bro, I chose surface land management because it was natural to me. Because growing up, I remember my dad worked in lands. He worked with Soto First Nation at the band office. He worked with TLE, Treaty Land Entitlement. And I remember just like sitting there hanging out while he had his meetings. And I was just like, I'd sit there and they just talk about land stuff. So like maybe like subconsciously, all that information was drilled into my brain while I was there like playing cards or whatever. You know what I mean? But like lands has always been something that I found very important. So that's why I chose surface land management. And yeah, like I feel like us as Indigenous people, our identity ties to the land. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, and like without an identity as Indigenous people, you're lost. And the identity for Indigenous people is the land. So we have to take care of the land. We're the stewards of the land. You know what I mean? So that's why I chose surface land management. Basically what that is I'll be dealing with like land acquisitions. There's so many avenues you could take with this program. But like basically my end goal with it is I want to be a independent consultant, and I want to work on behalf of nations who don't really have the capacity to know about like what they're doing in these land deals with these oil and gas companies, with these energy companies. Because like I'm not against oil and gas. Like it's gonna be around whether we like it or not. Like it heats our homes, but like just there has to be cleaner ways about it. And for some reason, Indigenous people are always getting the shit end of the stick, literally, when it comes to that. You know what I mean?
Because we're not prepared. We're not prepared to handle the situation.
Exactly. Yeah. So with that, I kind of want to be an independent consultant. I want to work on behalf of nations, and I want to represent them when it comes to dealing with the government, when it comes to dealing with energy, because like it could be clean energy, it could be hydro, it could be wind, you know what I mean?
Sure,
it could be like electric, it could be solar. I want to take those separate routes. And growing up with my grandparents, thankfully my parents, they taught me the connection to the land. I remember my cookum and my mushroom, this one teaching they told me, they're like, Caucasian people, they have Walmart. That's where they go to get everything. They're like us, where Nahio, you go into the bush, into the land, that's our Walmart. We have everything we need there. That's everything we've ever needed. And it's true, because there were, like, obviously there were no stores hundreds of years ago, right? So like that's our that's our Walmart. That's our identity.
For sure, man. All right, bro. Let's switch it up a little bit, man, because I don't know if some people know. If you don't know, River is also in the Canadian Armed Forces. Obviously, that's an important part about who you are, kind of growing up inside the military. Give us a little bit about, like your military career, and how that kind of came to be and where it's at now.
So basically, immediately I graduated high school 2014, and immediately after graduating high school, I did the Raven program, which is kind of like Bold Eagle, but it's for more Indigenous people, and I did that in Esquimalt, BC. I did it in Esquimalt, BC. I did my basic training. It was like 7 months, and like it was a shock, but like I felt like I was ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I honestly, bro, I feel like there's nothing I can't do. Like
Hey,
everything I put my mind to, I could do,
let's
and
go.
that's how I felt with the military. So I did all my training, and then I went back to SAS. It was 7 months. Like I could really get into depth about that, but like I don't want it. We would like we're gonna be podcasting, so I'll always have army stories, bro.
For sure.
So yeah, for sure.
Let's go.
For sure. Good times. Not really good times. That was the worst shit of my life, but oh well. Anyways, so yeah, so I was doing my basic military qualification, and then I went to Saskatoon, and I joined the combat engineers, and I was there for a numerous amount of years. I did my BMQ land there, and then I ended up doing my DP1 there, and the DP1, that's like a trades qualification course. And I was gone for like, what was that, 3-4 months? Remember that
bro,
summer?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I was there a while. I was out all the way out in Gagetown, New Brunswick for like 3 or 4 months, just to be like a qualified combat engineer. So I finished all that training. That was like some of the hardest training ever, bro. Like I remember I came back, and like I remember I felt like a Greek god, bro, just the shape that I was in.
Yeah.
Like one instance, man, was that we did a minefield breach. We didn't sleep at all. We do a minefield breach, and basically with minefield breach, you're just like lying down, poking a hole in the ground, checking for mines. We did that for like 4-5 hours, bro.
Yeah.
It was, and like it's pitch black, and you try not to sleep. So we did that after not sleeping all day. We stayed up all day. We did that all night, and then that night, we had our rucksacks. They're like these like 40-pound bags. And we had our helmets, we had our vests, our flak vests, we had our right. And they're like, all right. They're like, home is just a 14-kilometer walk away. Yeah, bro. So they're like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like they've already like they already like messed with us enough that we're just like, okay, whatever. So then, yeah, we ended up walking like 14 kilometers. It's called a BFT march, and that took us like 2 hours and 20 minutes, I think. And it was like constant uphill with like probably like 60-70 pounds of gear on you total. I remember like taking off my bag, and like my shoulders seized up, and I was like hanging out like this. And bro, I remember I slept for a couple hours, then right away it was back to work. So like it was always on the go. Yeah. And yeah, so after that summer I came back, and then the next summer I did my 2IC course. And I got a promotion. I was actually a corporal, which I am now.
Right.
That's one rank above a trained private. So I did my 2IC course. It's like a junior leadership course. Once again, I did that in Gagetown, New Brunswick. Yeah, so I did that, and now I'm currently posted out in Calgary as a combat engineer. And that's kind of how it's going. It's one thing with the military is like it's honestly a blessing how much I get to travel with the military. I've been coast to coast with the military. I've been up north.
I've been to Thunder Bay, Ontario, where I was boating around the Great Lakes. Like, just all the experience with the military, it was crazy. I recommend it for real. Like, even though if you don't want to make a career out of it, like, at least do a summer of Bold Eagle, and you'll find out who you are. You'll find out your limits. You'll find out what you're capable of, and you'll surprise yourself. Like, I fell in love with like who I was. It really, really helped my confidence. Really helped my confidence.
For sure, bro. So one thing that I think that, you know, just me personally, I kind of have a question about, because obviously one thing that we don't talk about is your military career, you know, what you do. As an Indigenous person, how does that play into your role in the military? Is it tough to navigate sometimes? Do you find that it's easier, harder? Like, how is it going about being Indigenous and being in the Canadian Armed Forces?
It's interesting, honestly. Like, for the most part, like, people are respectful. I've, like, some of my best friends I've met are non-Indigenous people, and I've met them in the military, and that's because we've struggled together. I have, like, one of my best friends, Sebastian, who lives out in Vancouver. I visit him like once a year now because our friendships in the military. I have so many good friendships in the military. And like, what I feel with the military, why I'm in, is because I enjoy it. I enjoy what I do. I get to blow up stuff. I get to shoot guns. I get to shoot rocket launchers. I get to throw grenades. I get to shoot machine guns. I get to shoot pistols. I get to do like urban ops. I get to drive assault boats. I get to build bridges, man. Like, honestly, it's so fun. And one thing I personally feel with like me being in the military is that I don't want to go overseas to fight a war that isn't mine.
Hey,
you understand?
Yeah.
But like, a part of the reason why I am in the military is because if anything were to ever happen to Canada, say it's like if something were to ever happen on Canadian soil, right away on a heartbeat, I would jump to defend this land because rightfully it is ours, and I would defend our people because our people are of this land. And that's basically what I guess how I feel. My whole stance on the military is that I'm doing it for more than myself, and I'm doing it to protect our people.
Right. That's huge, brother. That's huge, man. So obviously, like you said, man, when you're off in the military, and even when you're not, man, like you've gotten some great opportunities to be able to travel the world, see the world in different places, see different countries. Obviously, I know Europe, Japan. Just kind of talk to us a little bit about, you know, what traveling does for you, what it's done to you. You know, opened up your worldview a little bit. Kind of just give us a little bit more about travel.
Yeah, bro. So when I graduated high school, my uncle Jason, I remember, to push me for graduation, he's like, when you graduate, he's like, we'll go backpack Europe. And like, my uncle, man, shout out to my uncle. He's like the most nicest, loving, caring guy in the world. Like, you met Uncle Jay.
Shout out Uncle Jay, man. He was a beautiful soul, man. We got to go down to Surf Mountain this summer, man, and he took care of us, took us to a Chinese restaurant, man, gave us all some gifts. So real quick, just shout out Uncle Jay. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah, for real. So Uncle Jay was like, graduate school, River, and he's like, we'll backpack Europe. So I graduated school, and I backpacked Europe for about a month or so before I had to come back and start school. But like, it was crazy, bro. Like, I've been to Paris, France. I was in London, bro. I've seen Spain. I want to go back to Spain. It's beautiful there, bro. Italy is like, man, Italy was like the craziest place in the world. Like, I've been to Italy, bro. I've been to, like, I honestly can't even remember all the countries that we backpacked off heart, but it was amazing, bro. It was so amazing. And like, one thing with traveling is like, it really opens up your mind to new perspectives. You know what I mean? Because you meet people from all facts of life. You meet those who don't really have a lot, but they're grateful for what they have. And you meet people who have everything. And you like, it really helped me grow as a person and helped me understand people more.
For sure.
And yeah, bro, like, well, how about you with traveling?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, obviously, like going to Europe when I went to Europe when I was 16 with Native Sons United. We were an all Indigenous soccer team, and just to be able to go to Europe and kind of open up my mind a little bit to different countries and different cultures, but also too, like their soccer over there is a lot higher of a caliber. So it gave me a perspective on where I need to be. And like as soon as I got home, I was like, okay, like I used to think I was the bomb, you know what I mean? Like I was like, man, I'm the best in Saskatchewan. Like nobody can hold me. As soon as we went over to Europe, man, I got the clearest eye opening of my life. I was like, yo, I'm nowhere where I need to be, man. I need to start putting in time and effort into this if I want to see it grow, right? So obviously, as soon as I came home, man, I started getting to work. I started taking soccer more serious. I started, focusing, I guess, a little bit more on my goals to be able to kind of go into sports a little bit more. And like I said, just seeing that worldview kind of changed my perspective on a lot of things, you know. And this will kind of lead us into our next topic a little bit, because, you know, obviously we're super proud of what we're doing here, man. And we're super thankful for everybody that's like giving us support, whether you're liking it, sharing it, you know, in the comments section, whatever you guys are doing. But we've also faced a little bit of backlash, bro. You know, like some people are genuinely just not really happy for us, or they're not supporting us. Kind of like I've personally got clowned over, you know, trying to start a podcast or doing what we're doing, you know. Talk a little bit about that, bro, because, you know, it weighs on us a little bit. You know, we can act like we brush it off and we don't care, but sometimes, you know, it gets to us. So,
I mean, bro, like, man, you could be doing the best thing in life, bro, and someone's always gonna hate. Like, that's one thing you have to understand, is you could be doing the greatest things in life, but there's always gonna be one person who doesn't like the way you're doing it, who doesn't like what you're doing. And that's what, honestly, we can't let that get to us. Know what I mean? Because like everybody's always gonna have something negative to say. You can be the most perfect human being, and somebody's gonna say something negative all the time. And like even to our close friends, bro, who are like clowning us, man, that's a reflection on them, bro. That's a reflection on who they are, and that maybe that they're afraid to chase their dreams, and like, which, like, I hope they're not, but like what they say about us says more about who they are than what we are, because all we want to do is just spread like good vibes, bro, and all we want to do is hear people's stories, and like this should be nothing but a positive experience. Like, why is somebody so negative? And like I pray for those people, bro. You know what I mean? Because like I have absolutely nothing against anyone. I don't have anything against any of those guys. And like for people to try and clown us for no reason, like sure, sometimes it's all fun and games, but like some of the stuff people say, it's just like, bro, like get over it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Because we put a lot of, people don't know, man. We actually put a lot of hard work, man. We probably went broke on this, man. Like we're in it, man. We're in this because we love doing what we do, man. After the show, after we did our first ever show with Joey, man, we jumped off of this podcast, man, and we were like alive. I've never felt so alive in my life, bro. That was crazy. And so that feeling made it all worth it. But yeah, sometimes you gotta, you know, eat that negativity and just kind of try to spin it in the best way possible, man. So, but just a little thing I thought we'd touch on, man. You know what we should do though, because we've been talking enough about us, man. I feel like there's some fans in here, man. There's some people that are watching us. Why don't you guys shoot us a couple questions, man? We're down to take a couple questions, see what for me or for River. Hey, shout out. Let's go. Thank you, Miss Tia Wood, man. Hey, if y'all heard that at the starting of the video, that is Miss Tia Wood, man. Give her a like on Instagram. Give her a like on TikTok, man. She is blowing up, man. Beautiful, beautiful voice. Beautiful, beautiful girl, man. I can't say enough good words about her, man. So anyways, yeah, shoot us a couple questions, man. Let us know.
Yeah, for real.
Bro, how crazy is it? So, hey, just so you guys know, this is a green screen behind us. We have to put it up entirely with like paper, right? So two nights ago, the entire thing fell down, man. So this afternoon we were rushing around trying to get our green screen put back up and trying to make it work, man. We were super kind of sad about it. So hold up. Hey, shout out Sanford, man.
Hey, shout out Sanford. Thanks, bro.
All right, let's go with Netta first, man. Besides your parents, your favorite Indian and why?
All right, go first.
All right, man. Besides my favorite Indian in the whole wide world is my dad, Raymond Fox. I know you said besides your parents, but man, my favorite Indian in the world, man. That's tough. Honestly, man, it might be you, bro. It might be you, just because of, like, honestly, just getting to know this guy better through this podcast, man. I'm so proud of him and so proud of all the work that he's done. And like, I came to you with this idea 2 weeks ago, bro, and I was like, "Do you want to do this?" You've been 100% in the whole time, bro. We've been vibing. We've been, never arguing, always working together. So yeah, I'd say River. What about you, bro?
Bro, this is kind of awkward. I was gonna say
Hey, come on, man. You're supposed to give that love back, bro. That's no.
For real, bro. Like, for real, man. It's like, bro, it's so inspiring because, like, we've been
friends, man, for like well over 10 years. And this is just like another path in our friendship, bro. Like, we're gonna be friends until the day we die. You know what I mean, bro? So like, this is just something that we're doing, and I'm so honored to be on this path with you, bro. For real.
Coming from NB, what inspiration can you give to the youth? You want me to answer first?
Sure.
All right, man. So let's see. Inspiration you can give to the youth. For the youth, man, I would just say, man, try to find yourself some good friends. Try to find yourself a healthy outlet that you can strive for, man. Stay in school is one big thing. And yeah, man, just do something that you're really, really passionate about, man. Like, sometimes we as Indigenous people, we give up too quickly because we don't think that we're enough, or that we don't have what it takes, but we do, man. There's living proof out here. We got basketball players, we got hockey players, we got singers, songwriters. We've got so many different people on many different levels. So I'd say just find something that you die for, man, and live for it every day, man, in everything that you do. That would be my inspiration to the youth, man. And tap into support, man. Like, I'm here to support. River's here to support. There's people in your own community that believe in you, that want what's best for you, and are truly just want you to succeed, man. Obviously, there's some people that have reached out to us, man. One guy that I want to shout out really quickly, Solomon Trimble. If you guys don't know Solomon Trimble, he was the first ever Twilight Wolf, man. This guy shot us an inbox to our page. He's been giving us pointers. He's been giving us tips and support, man. Shout out Solomon Trimble. So yeah, man, that's one thing.
Bro, we should probably get Solomon on.
Hey,
how would you guys like to see the very first Wolf on Twilight?
For sure, bro.
Podcast. I'll ask you.
For sure.
But yeah. What we got?
We got another one here. I'll let you take this one. This is from Miss Tia Wood. Who is someone you both look up to and hope to interview, and why?
I'm gonna say your Uncle Randy Wood.
Yeah, we might have to say Uncle Randy Wood, man. That guy's got the voice of an angel. One person that I would love to have on personally is Michael Linklater, man. I think I have nothing but good words to say about Michael Linklater. He's an inspiration. He's somebody that's built different. Every now and then you'll hear or see somebody that's built different, and that's Michael Linklater to me, man. The guy's a winner. The guy gets what he wants done at all costs, man. And that's somebody that I think personally. But someone that I also look up to, man, is you. You need to come on the show, Miss Tia Wood, man. We need to hear your voice. We need to hear your story, man. So hopefully pretty soon you can come through, man. What about you, River? Who you look up to that you want to interview?
I'm gonna shoot for the stars, bro. And honestly, man, I'm gonna say Kendrick Lamar.
Hey,
we'll get there.
Yeah, well, we're gonna try, man. We're gonna take a Auntie Bernadette Thomas, man. We love you so much over here at the Foxing Around podcast, man. This lady, I cannot say enough good words about her, man. Both me and River's childhood. Obviously, her son Denzel is one of our other brothers, man. Yeah, Bernadette looked after all of us as young kids, man. Took us on trips, man. Took us to that was like our first ever travel experience. One of my first ever travel experiences was going to Rocky Boy Powwow with Bernadette, Denzel, and their family, man. So I can't thank you enough. But her question is, everyone faces struggles. What's your personal growth from previous experiences?
Honestly, bro, is Auntie Bernadette, it's push through. All of her
power comes from inside. And when you feel powerless, that's because you stop listening to your heart. You listen to your heart, and the creator doesn't give you anything you can't handle ever. Always push through, because once you're at rock bottom, there's nowhere from there but up. And I personally faced a lot of struggles going up, and a lot of it's just the mindset too, you know? It's like, personally to me, there's no such thing as a bad day ever. There's that I have maybe like minor occurrences or negative things that happen during a day, but I'll never ever let it affect my full day. It's just a minor occurrence in the grand scheme of things, because if you look at us like in the whole scheme of life, we're like very, very, very minuscule.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Right here.
If you can change one thing in your life, anything and everything, what would it be?
I can answer this if you're thinking.
Yeah, let's let River take this one.
I wouldn't change anything in my life. Nothing. Like, sure, I've missed out on opportunities, plenty of opportunities, and there was a lot of things I said no to growing up because I was afraid. I was very afraid. But like, I would never. I'm so blessed with where I am, because if I took a different path in life, I wouldn't be beside my brother Raymond. Probably I wouldn't be doing this podcast. I wouldn't be playing volleyball. I wouldn't do the modeling I did. All this stuff, this wouldn't have happened if I took a different path. So I'm so content with where I am, with all the struggles I face, with everything I've been through, is because it shaped me into who I am today.
Yeah, I would say the same, man. Obviously, you know, I've been through a little bit more for my own personal struggles. So there are some things that I wish I would have avoided, but at the same time, too, I needed those things to be able to come to where I'm at now. I think that, yeah, I wouldn't want to change anything because it got me here. It got me sitting in front of you guys talking about nothing and everything, you know. So just that alone is enough for me. So we're gonna take maybe one or two more questions here. Hey, shout out Xander Trocchi, man. This guy is doing our moderating on Facebook, Instagram, or yeah, he's moderating all our pages actually, making sure that none of your dirty comments sneak through. So shout out Xander. What's the biggest change you faced in moving to a different province? For me, man, it's a culture shock a little bit. Like I don't have, to be honest with you, I don't really fit in Red Deer. You know what I mean? Like Red Deer's a different town. The guys on my team are different. The people are different. So sometimes, you know, I actually come out here a lot to Olds to be able to be with, you know, my bros like River and T-Sky and Ryzen and Sean, all the boys here, because I feel more close to home when I'm with them. And so, yeah, I would say the biggest difference is just a little bit of a culture shock, not being close to my friends or family. That would be it for me.
Biggest change I've faced in moving a different province. The fact that Alberta's all privatized.
Hey,
yeah, like that. Half joking, kind of joking, but yeah, like it's.
I live in Olds, Alberta. This place is like very, very conservative. It's definitely different. They don't see a lot of like Indigenous people come by here, so like there's been quite a bit of racist experiences we've dealt with, but I mean, we've pushed through it. We're still here anywhere. If you're an Indigenous person, man, never be afraid to occupy space. This is rightfully our land, and we can share it. Can share it, but never ever be ashamed to occupy space, because you belong here just as much as anybody else does.
Okay, so we're going to take one more question here. It's actually from Harley Rose, another supporter of ours, man. Talk about personal culture and how it's different and similar. I'll go first, I guess. I was kind of involved in my culture when I was younger. My dad did a good job of kind of showing me our culture and giving me some lessons and being able to enrich the culture. And then just living in town, not being close to my reserve, and just some other issues, you know, growing up as a teen, man, it's hard. You have different things that are important to you in life. So I lost my culture for a long time, actually. And it's something that I'm not proud of, but it's something that happened, and it was for my own personal growth. Thankfully, just going back to school, being around people that are more enriched in the culture. Thankfully, I've gotten back into to knowing my roots, knowing where I come from, starting to get back into ceremony and being able to occupy those spaces like you're talking about, and being proud of who I am, because there was a time where I wasn't really proud of who I was as an Indigenous person. And now today, thankfully, you know, yeah, exactly. Shout out them Braids. I've been able to get back to my culture and who I am as an Indigenous person. So that would be a little bit about my personal culture. I don't really know how it's different because I haven't really try to enrich myself in other people's culture, because I feel like that's for them. That's not really for me. If they're able to share with me a little bit, that's fine. But that's not my space to occupy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like our messages, our inbox is always open. But
Yeah.
personally, culture is like,
it's not a face that you put on. It's like something that we live day in and day out. So I don't really know how to talk about personal culture from an outside perspective, because it's how I live my life. You know what I mean? Like, I wake up and I smudge, I pray, and I really try to like do honestly what would make my ancestors proud, because I feel like that's why we're here. We're here for our ancestors, and we're here for the 7 generations after us.
Let's go. All right, we're gonna take one last question just because it's the bro, man. And this will be a quick one anyways. Rocking Bear, man, shout out Ryzen. We're gonna, if you had to play a different sport and not the one you're playing right now, what would it be? Man, I would have to say hockey, dude, just because it's so enriched in Indigenous culture, and as well, it's I don't know, it's just a cooler sport than soccer, to be honest with you. Like, it's more popular, more people play it, it's easier to get into the rink. So yeah, I'd say hockey.
if I had to play a different sport, not the one you're playing right now, not volleyball. Honestly, bro, probably hockey too. I mean, like, I got the stature for hockey, right? Like, I'm over 6 feet. I mean, I kind of have the body to play a more physical game.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, definitely hockey.
But like, for everybody who clowns on volleyball, man, and says volleyball is a girly sport. No, man, try having somebody who jumps 40 inches, smash a ball, literally like coming at your face at over 100 kilometers an hour. Like, tell me, try that. Try dig a ball that's coming at you at that like 100 miles an hour, and tell me if that's.
I would want to do it, bro. I stop soccer balls for a living, and it's not too fun. So, anyways, man, we're gonna switch this over, man. Just before, we're gonna announce our next guest, but first I'm gonna turn it over to you, bro. I want you to give a quick message to everybody out there, man. Your message, you know, obviously we did this with Joey Styles last time. Just anything you got on your mind, anything you want to give to the people, man. Just let them know. I'm gonna take a quick outro here real quick and hand it over to you. So give her.
I feel like all the Indigenous people and the youth out here is, like I said again, is like, don't be afraid to occupy space. You belong here just as much as anybody else does. And I want to talk about reconciliation real quick. Reconciliation isn't something that you just like wake up and turn on and turn off. Like, this is a life for some of us. And with reconciliation is like, we have to recognize it's going to be something that
we're going to be doing for the rest of our lives as Indigenous and non-Indigenous people. It doesn't just stop after a workday stops, right? It doesn't stop like once this meeting stops. True reconciliation comes from relationships that you build outside of a formal setting. It's becoming friends with Indigenous, non-Indigenous people. It's building those relationships. That's what true reconciliation is. And I encourage everybody to really work on reconciliation, because everything that we do, we have to think of our children and our grandchildren after us. What I do personally, I don't always do it for myself. I do it so my children, my grandchildren don't have to go through the same struggles that I have. I want to do it so my grandchildren and children have it much easier than I've had it. And I mean, bro, we're literally podcast hosts, so you guys are gonna hear a lot more coming from us.
Hey, for sure. Yeah. We started this thing. I'll give you guys just a little quick brief why we started this, man. There's stories out here. Like my brother, you guys probably didn't even know him like that until today, man. Now you guys got a fresh new perspective on River. You got a fresh new perspective on an Indigenous man out here doing the most for his people, doing the most for himself, for his family, making everyone proud, man. So yeah, like we said, man, we got stories. We got so many different people from different walks of life that we're really looking forward to bringing on to be able to share their stories and to be able to come in and have this safe space, because at the end of the day, this is a safe space for us to be able to talk and share those stories and give you guys parts of ourselves and parts of our guests that maybe you don't get in your day-to-day life. So we're really looking forward to that, man. This is only the beginning. Obviously, we just did this. We only did a Thursday show just because we felt like if we keep carrying on, that we would never kind of talk about us. So we wanted to have one podcast where we talked about us a little bit. And then now we can kind of focus back on the guests and not really make it about us, because now you guys got our story. Now you guys got a little bit more about who we are. So I feel really grateful that we did this today, because I wasn't sure what I was going to say. I wasn't sure. We didn't really plan this. We kind of had a few notes here and there, but we just had a conversation that I think was meaningful.
Yeah, bro. And like, I was so nervous earlier. Man.
Yeah, bro, for real.
I was like pacing, and then you were like, how do you feel talking about this? And it felt too foreign. And like,
shit. And like, my mind is racing, but I got out of the house. I went and did stuff with my team. I came back fresh perspective, ready to go, man.
For sure.
For real, for sure. So I guess our outro now. Shall we announce?
Man,
yes?
Yo, this is going to be huge, ladies and gentlemen. I am so very excited about this next couple of guests, man. You know who I'm talking about, right?
I think I know who you're talking about.
You think you know who I'm talking about?
I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about.
Man, tune in this Sunday, 7 p.m. We've got Fawn and Dallas, man. Fawn Wood and Dallas Waskahat are going to come join the Foxing Around podcast, man. Very huge. If you guys don't know Fawn and Dallas, they run the virtual round dance page. Oh, sorry about that. Pepsi burps.
Pepsi burp.
We got, so we're going to have Fawn and Dallas, man. If you guys don't know Fawn Wood, she's a multi awesome, man. I just messed that up completely. I'm sorry about that, Fawn, man. So anyways, we're going to bring in Fawn Wood. We're going to bring in Dallas, man. They're going to be singing a few songs. They're going to be telling their stories a little bit. Yeah, that's about it, bro. One more thing. We want to shout out Solomon Trimble for helping us get the podcast straight. We want to shout out Tia Wood for her audio. We want to shout out, who else we got? Xander for doing the moderation, man. I'm so super excited about where this is going and how we're taking it, man. This is going to be huge.
Yeah, for real. Literally, shout out to everybody who has our back since day one, and like all our friends and family, man. There's nothing but support from our loved ones, and that's crazy. And I'm so honored to be doing this. I kind of spaced out back there. Did you tell them that we're only doing one episode a week going forward?
Yeah, so going forward, we're only going to be doing Sundays, just because obviously we got school, we got other stuff to do, and it just gives us more time to be able to bring in our special guests and set them up. So, yeah, man, I think that's pretty much it, bro. You got anything else?
No, bro. Let's just let's hit cheers of Pepsi.
Yeah, bro. Let's hit this real quick.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to Foxing Around Live, everybody.
Till the next time we're foxing around. Let's go.
Peace.